think we're live. So welcome everybody. I'm here in the Valkenberg Park in Breda, and it's the second day of the Graphic Matters Festival. And my name is Dahm, and today I have the pleasure to talk with Ken Lo. And he's a graphic designer from Hong Kong, and together with his wife Pearl, he runs the design studio Blow. And today we're gonna talk about Mohawks by Ken Lo, and this is presented in the park, and you can see the flags hanging in the back, and which are Ken's design. Ken, so nice to talk to you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning. Can you describe your path to doing what you are doing?
As a graphic designer, maybe.
Yeah.
So I remember that when I was still studying in kindergarten, and then normally the teachers ask you to draw something, and then at that time I quite addicted to Transformers.
Right.
And then I remember that one of my classmates can already draw something very 3D, like very detailed Transformers, and I was very feeling very, very amazing about that.
Yeah.
While my drawing is like circle, square, triangle, and become a transformer.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, my score is higher than that guy. And then my teacher said me, yours is more unique.
Okay.
But at the beginning, I don't realize about all this because I can't draw very detailed.
Right.
Everything in my mind is just have shapes.
Right.
And then I already know that maybe this is something like design, and because at the same time I always watch Japanese cartoons. It's called Doraemon,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the cartoons they do have a design, the words, exactly the word design, because every time Doraemon will have some different creative tools to solve problem in each episode. And I feel very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know that I want to solving problem. I want to do some jobs in the future that really can help people.
Yeah.
and give solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go back to this first drawings.
Yeah.
Were there like only squares and circles and triangles, or was it like, and then you made a composition with
Yeah,
that?
for example, the face is like I remember it's like a square, something like that. The eye is circle, and then ears is triangle,
Yeah.
and then become a robot, something like that. And that's my transformer.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was very young, and also sometimes in the school they have some kind of like greeting cards competition.
Mm.
It's quite stupid, but normally my classmate will draw a lot
Right.
on the cover.
Yeah.
But I still remember my card win a champion. At that time it's like primary 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then my card is like something like popping out a heart shape, something like that. It's about a format.
Yeah.
So and again it's a bit different from what my classmates doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Sounds amazing. So and were your parents also in the creative field?
I don't think my parents is creative. My mom didn't work for long times, and my father was a truck driver,
Mhm.
and our family is not that rich. Actually it's quite poor when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but you figure it out.
So what I figure out is so my situation is like is a hard time for me, because while your family is poor, maybe your dream need to be changed,
Right.
and your parents will persuade you, please give up the design.
Yeah.
Like I think everyone have this kind of stories, and me too. And then even one day my father have a car accident,
Okay.
but still alive. It's okay, still
Yeah,
alive. Yeah,
okay, okay.
but it's a quite a serious accident. And then suddenly our economy of our family is just it's like a very low level, and really need many people help us.
Right.
And then I do think of to give up this dream, because I know it's a long journey as a designer. And then after I study in high school, okay, so I do need to find a job, because for my family to earn money, and at the same time my academic result is not that good, so I can't enter the university and study a design degree. So I go to work in a in a kind of a game center with the crane machine, the crane machine. So that's why I like this kind of things. Every day I deal with the crane machine, and I'm a professional in the crane machine. I have more than 200 plush toys in my home. Is the price. Wow. So at that time, and then I worked there for 2 years. But the first year, there one day, because the situation is and the environment there is very noisy, it's very loud. You need to serve like you can say it's like a dog. You need to serve for a kid, you need to serve for elderly, you need to serve for everyone. But what I learned is how to being patient and be nice to people and smile, because you are doing servicing. Okay, right. But one day I just when I look at the crane machine, because if you have experience for playing this crane machine stuff, actually they have designed how the plush toys, the position, and even the design of that plush is really tailor made for the crane machine. So I know all these kind of things. I think this is design, and then just like I'm missing something. Why I'm here? Why I'm here to serve people. When they win the prize, I just give the plush toy to them, but not the one who designed the plush inside. Okay, so one day I just very lost, and then maybe just like taking the mushroom. They said the noise very loud. It's just like asking me to leave immediately, and I really do that. I didn't take any salary at that month, and I told my manager. And then I said I need to leave now, and then I go and then I asked my mom, I really need to study design. This is, I think, kind of my destiny. I believe in design. I believe design is not just changing my life. I believe design is also can change my family's living. So I do believe that, and then I go to study graphic design. Right.
And you studied that in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I'm very Hong Kong. Very Hong Kong. Yeah, born in Hong Kong, live in Hong Kong, study in Hong Kong. Yeah.
But that's great, right? Hong Kong is so diverse.
Yeah. Hong Kong is a lovely place. Depends how you see it. But one thing is very good. I think is because they have so many different kind of people. We're living in a diversity of people. So, for example, like a Sunday in the park, okay, normally is Hong Kong people walk through the park, but on Sunday it's all Philippines, because they so it's interesting. So when you go to Tsim Sha Tsui, for there is a building, it's all Indian. So if you want to experience some very Indian kind of things, you go there. Okay. So Hong Kong is very very packed, very condensed. You can meet so many different kind of people, and also for me, it's like as a designer, what is about is eventually is about humanity, is how you observe different kind of behavior that humans do, and then Hong Kong is like you can see so many kind of people, some nice people, some bad people, businessmen, politics, anything.
Okay, so it's also like a tremendous source for your creativity.
I do think so, because this year I travel quite a lot of different kind of cities, and then I noticed that before I quite hate Hong Kong sometimes. So many people, so noisy. And many different many different kind of issues, and then but after I travel around the different cities, and when I go back to Hong Kong, I starting to treasure about this place. Right. It's because we make this culture together. But some place is like it's more historical. For example, like here, you have your own Dutch culture. Right. But in Hong Kong, it's a mix,
Yeah.
mixing with so many different
Yeah.
kind of things to make this place so unique.
Yeah.
And you can just observe them, and you will learn many things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's also very dense and like all the people come there for trade and to live and work. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So let's go to your project.
Okay.
Your More Hugs project, which is in the background. You can see the peace flag there.
Yeah. The LGBT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell what motivated you or inspired you to create this project?
This project, right? I think that 2 years ago, and then I was supposed to. I'm thinking that what is a graphic designer, and what or who am I as a graphic designer? Because normally I work on different kind of commercial projects, but I do have personal projects. But mostly is maybe a poster, because for competition, or some is by invitation.
Right.
But when that poster, when I do that poster, it's just because somebody invites you.
Right.
It's not because you self-initiated to do something. So I start to rethink actually what I want to do. At the very beginning, I just think deeper. Maybe it's just flow back my childhood and rethink again who am I, and then I think that I have an eye with a really weak sight since I was born.
Yeah.
So basically, I just use one eye to see our world, to see things. But maybe because of this thing, it's kind of like a philosophy for me.
Okay.
Is the world actually is very simple. It's not complicated. I don't need to. I can use the VR now.
Yeah.
I remember one time I go to a museum, there's a VR things, and then I just can't see anything. But maybe it's good for me.
Yeah.
Right? I can see the 3D movie.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like living in a 2D world, something like that. So this inspire me and make me think that I want to do something related to some very simple message and more encouraging ideas, and encouraging people. And then at that time, it's like the world suddenly sounds very unhappy for me. Maybe different places have different kind of politics issues, and many terrorist attacks at that time, I think, and also disaster, earthquakes, tsunami, etc., etc. I just sometimes I would say I want to encourage people because I was suffered before.
Right.
And I know the power of being positive.
Right.
I always explain to people that, like everyone know the mathematics, the minus sign, and also the plus, the sign. Well, I see these two icons. One is just one stroke, plus the plus sign has two strokes.
Right.
That means more.
Yeah.
So wherever you put this sign, that means you will get more.
Yeah.
So this is the meaning of being positive, is to add something value in particular things. And then I don't want to do a poster that just a poster anymore, or mostly the poster maybe they have a certain meaning, but most of them is just like describe the situation. Okay, for example, some political posters or anything. It's like just describing the situation. Okay, it's imperfect, but just describe the situation. But what I want to do is really icons or some iconography to make people think that actually they can embrace and then to accept something, and then to overcome something, to make yourself happy. I want this project when people see this is to maybe to remind them actually we can just give a hug for your difficulties or whatever things. You can be more positive, and you can change your life. You can change your thoughts, and just minus all the negative thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, what was first, like a sketch or the name of the project?
This project.
Yeah.
Oh, it's yeah. I was supposed to do a book before this, but just right before,
Yeah.
and I changed my mind.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and suppose that book is called A Simple World.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's
Yeah.
just like illustrating something very simple through my eyes.
Yeah.
But I found that as what I said is like you are just like describing something.
Mm.
And then and then eventually I thought of hugs, the name of hugs, but some is very stupid, like hug, so it's more friendly, but but I think it's not sophisticated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think more hugs for me is because it's something to continue,
Right.
and more is also my core philosophy of this project is to being positive and add value to your life, to your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes, and then finally I come with more hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the illustrations are very graphical and very iconographic. And how did you came up with this style?
Okay, so again back to my childhood.
Yeah.
The circle square things,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm naturally born to be like this.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I want to figure out.
Yeah.
But I do like very symbolic graphics, iconic graphics. This always make me think, because as a graphic designer, I think what's better than you have create a symbol, and then maybe 1,000 years later, the humans still understand this symbol. For example, take an example like the heart shape, just a simple form, right? But you never figure out who designed the heart shape. It's just a heart shape, right? No emotion, but how people use it. When they are suffering, when they are expressing, they love something. And this is not hate icon, right? Please don't create a hate icon. I would say. So if you create a heart icon, for me it's like you benefit so many people.
Right.
It's like a universal language, and also even I would think that like the arrow, like the directing you to the whole world. This arrow, why you need a triangle there, and then you need to turn right.
Right.
And then I really addicted to this. I always have a dream to design zebra crossing, something like this very iconic things in the city.
Okay.
So so I this is kind of my original behavior of graphic design, even in my commercial job. So I want to do it like a more in a iconography way, because I want people to remember the design whenever, maybe in the many years, maybe in the future. Not everyone, but at least my daughters. She understand this.
Right.
And then just like a sound, just like a visual. Always when you're facing difficulty, okay, more hearts. You need to embrace. You need to overcome your difficulties.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds great. And in some of your designs react on events that happen in the world. Why do you do this? To support them, or is there another reason?
Mostly is to support them.
Yeah.
Because whenever there's like a terrorist attack, something like that, I feel people feel. Sometimes I feel very sad about those disasters. Right. Because I have daughters, you know, I have my family. I really cherish my friends and families. And then sometimes when you read the news, this kind of bad news, and then I just want to encourage them, because I know it's like a, you know, wherever they have this kind of difficulties, and then more has to come out, and then tell you that okay, let's do it together, let's overcome it together. So I just maybe just a simple gesture, but just show my care to them. Yeah, your project is all about care and being super friendly to each other. Yeah. Personally, I'm also very friendly. Maybe for someone it's no.
Absolutely.
But actually, I'm very friendly. It's kind of so I always said I do my design with honestly. I don't for example Like if when you are a designer, work over 10 years, you have all kind of skills. You know all the techniques how to do so-called beautiful design. So then it's time for you to choose which direction and what way, or eventually what you want to do. Like you can make something very cool, very like very fashionable, very dark, and then people wow it's cool. But I don't want to do it in that way. Yeah, instead I just, if I can choose, I want my design really give positive power to people, and I do believe that this is what a human should have. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. So we are here in the festival, and your project in the Graphic Metals Festival, and your project is one of the main projects. And how do you like the festival so far?
You know, I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big contrast to my city. Okay, concrete jungle. You don't have a sky. Yeah. It's just a small sky. Yeah. When I first come to Breda, and I say, "Wow, the sky is so big." Yeah. And then you know, every weekdays, weekend, sometimes I will go to have a drink with my friend, and then we walk through the Victoria Park. Right. There's also a park in Hong Kong, Victoria Park. Every time I don't feel very leisure, you know, because it's like I don't know how to say, but it's just a very normal park. They don't have this kind of things. They don't have the public art. They don't have things to interact with our people. So when I first came to Breda and this Valkenberg Park and saw my fest here, it's kind of really moved me. I was feeling very excited, feeling very touching, and then you can't imagine that your flash or your design is just travel 12 hours from Hong Kong to here, right. And then now I'm here and to witness all these kind of things. People here are so peaceful, and I especially appreciate graphic matters. The concept behind graphic matters, especially graphic design, because I'm a graphic designer. Normally the festival is can be combined with multidiscipline. But why so passionate about graphic design? There's a city making a graphic design festival and talking about the value of a graphic design. What's the role of a graphic design? And then I already walked through all the exhibition in graphic matters. I really think that you can meet so many new friends that share with the same thoughts. Right. As a graphic designer, I strongly recommend people, not only for the Netherlands, but outside Netherlands, please come. If you are a graphic designer, you need to come here and inspire you what a graphic designer can do.
Right. Yeah. You have tremendous power, right, as a designer, to inform people and create cool things. So I always end my interviews with my Neon 5, and that's a single recommendation in 5 categories.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, you will try. And let's start with a book. Which book would you recommend to read?
Okay, I would say this book is like kind of inspire me to become a designer and let me know more about design. My very first design book that I finished the whole book. Okay, is by Paula Scher. It's called Make It Bigger. Okay, actually the contents I already forget, but the book name Make It Bigger and the concept behind, or even this sentence Make It Bigger. It's also the same thing for me. Is to make things better, not just bigger. It's the courage to do something. So this book always remind me about this point.
It's what you said in the beginning with the plus. Like you have the min and the plus, and then the plus is more.
Yes, I think sometimes people will try to read something related to yourself.
Right. Yeah. And food. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food, I will say dim sum. Dim sum in Hong Kong, but my colleague is not that like that because maybe need to have, because when we have dim sum, always take a long time because we order many dishes, and it make a long time. It's very good for having dim sum with friends because you can spend your very good afternoon there.
Right.
And then the tea is you can just review.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's very leisure, and then it's like a buffet
Right.
in Chinese style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I really like the dim sum. And movie, television, or documentary.
Oh, let me see. Documentary.
Or
Movie. I would say it's not movie.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like the cartoon, the cartoons I told you earlier.
Yeah.
Is the Doraemon.
Yeah.
Because so after so many years, and sometimes I look back and think that maybe this cartoon
Mm.
changed my life
Mm.
first.
Mm.
So to lead me to this journey.
Yeah.
Because from this point I will say that don't look down what you are doing. Maybe you are inspiring some great people, and they will become even greater in the future to inspire even more people.
Right.
So I think my number one, like movie or animation cut anything is a Doraemon. Yeah.
And it's in Chinese, or can you also watch it with English subtitle? Or?
I think should have English version.
Okay.
Just Doraemon is a Japanese.
Okay.
Okay.
And an event or conference?
Event or I would say graphic matters.
Yeah, of course. And next to graphic matters?
No, I really do think that because I don't think I've got a particular event or a conference that really are really into that, because you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Every time you go there, you really know what they're doing.
Right.
But I think I found a bit difference from of graphic matters. It's kind of my, at least for me, it's kind of my first time to participate and also to visit a purely graphic design festival, and also focusing on social issue. So I would say really this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last, miscellaneous, something from your life that you would recommend?
What your meaning is like
Anything.
recommend?
Yeah.
Okay. So I always I just share with you. I think it's time. I think everyone should make use of your time. Think about time, because it's like animation. If you're using you do the animation, you can go to the first frame. But life is you can't rewind, you can't go back. So every moment is the moment. You need to think about the time. What are you doing? Just ask yourself, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And then you give yourself an answer, and just do it.
Yeah.
Don't waste any time. Yeah.
Okay. Great, Ken Lo. It was so great meeting you. Great talking to you.
Thank you.
Let's hug.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, this was Thomas for Moiré and Graphic Matters, and see you later. Bye.